guys, Casper here, and I am literally surrounded by books because that is the best way to be, apparently. Not apparently, everybody knows that's the best way to be, what am I saying? So today we are doing the classics book tag. Basically, it's a book tag all about classics. You answer 10 questions about classics, and one of these I don't have an answer to, and I'm not even remotely sorry. So my last try at this was really long because I am long-winded, apparently. So, take two, and let's try again. So the first question is an overhyped classic you didn't like. Now, I'm trying to figure out where the hell I put anything. I figured it out. Now, I actually have 4 for this, and I blame high school, because that is the only reason I actually no, that's not the only reason I started reading classics. So, we're gonna start with Dracula, and I wanted to like this book, but I think I was really pressured to read it over a really short amount of time because it was summer reading, and this book should not be summer reading. Let me just put it that way. But it's really dense. I did not find it that interesting. I do want to try reading it again because, you know, it's like the Godfather of horror, you know? Like, I should give it a chance if I like horror so much, but anyway, the next one I'm going to talk about, if you know me at all, you know I hate this book, and that is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Yeah. I always get their names backwards. But, this is, I think my biggest issue with this book is the fact that, 1, it's portrayed as a love story. 2, it's definitely not a love story. 3, it's an abuse story. It's about a dysfunctional family that literally abuses each other in every sense of the word. And what number am I on? 4. It's not even, like, denoted as bad. That, like, the shit they're doing to each other is just awful. And I hate it. I hate this book. I will never read it again. The only reason I own a copy is because my mom bought me the box set of the Bronte sister works. Other than that, I would never own this book. That's all I have to say. So the next 2 I have are actually really well liked, and I don't care. So it is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I despise the writing. I'm gonna say it. I hate Ray Bradbury's writing. Or at least in that book I do. I've never read any of his other works, so I can't really, you know, generalize, I guess. But typically one book is a really good indication of the rest of the writing. Whatever. So I hated that. It has a really good message on censorship, which I am not ignoring, because that would be censoring. I'm cute. Anyway, the other one is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Whoops! I feel people getting mad. I feel people being upset. I still don't care, and my dog is going crazy right now, but she barks at everything. I can't help it. She's anxious. Yeah, I didn't care for The Great Gatsby. It was a really easy read. It's full of symbolism, yes, but like, ugh. So my favorite, the second question is your favorite time period to read about. So that's really easy for me. That is Victorian England, which is amazing. I love anything Victorian, except I hate the rules. Like, I love the fashion. I love the way everything looked. But, like, the sexist rules, man. Like, they kill me. And then, like, turn of the 20th century America, like in The Jungle, which was published in, like, 1906 or something like that. Those are some of my favorite, like, time periods. The Jungle has no bearing on this tag, except for me to hold up a book in this question. Anyway, so favorite fairy tale. Now, this is the one I don't have an answer for. And, it's really ironic, because I own this wonderful edition of Grimm's Fairy Tales, and I've never... Yikes. That's all I'm gonna say in regards to myself is yikes, because I've never read a fairy tale. The only ones I'm, like, familiar with are Disney fairy tales, and I don't care for many of them. So the next one is, what is the most embarrassing classic that you haven't read. Okay, I've got a pile. Let me get my pile. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Jane Austen because I've never read a Jane Austen novel, and I got this beautiful book for Christmas, but I don't even know if I like Jane Austen, but I have the book. That literally has like 7 of her novels all in one, and it is massive, and I hit myself like right here, and that really hurts. I've also never read To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and this one actually has a story because I was gonna read it in 8th grade because I had heard so much about it. And my mom is in love with this book. She loves it. But then my English teacher, who should have encouraged me to be reading more, especially outside of class, was like, oh, you're gonna read it next year, don't spoil it, blah, blah, blah. God, I hated that woman. Anyway, so the next one, and this isn't a obvious book, but this is actually a Charles Dickens novel. It has Oliver Twist and The Uncommercial Traveler. I've never read anything by, I was about to say Oliver Twist. I've never read anything by Charles Dickens, and my light is seriously going, but I need to hurry this up, apparently. And my mom bought me an entire set of these editions from the Oxford Library that were published in 1904, and I don't even know if I like Dickens. So that's something. And then, I don't know if this counts as a classic, but it's old. And that is Dante's Inferno. So, yeah, I feel like this is just something I should read at some point, considering it pissed off the church so much. And that's like a life goal for me, is to just continuously piss off the, like, institutional bullshit. So, I should read that. But then that also kind of falls under the category of non-English and non-American classics. So, like, I need to read some Asian classics, I need to read African and South American, and, you know, I haven't read anything from Mexico, and I've never read anything from Canada. I've never read anything from, like, the majority of Europe, and I don't even know what to call Russia in this continent scheme that I'm talking about. I've never read anything from Australia, and my light is dying! But I would really like to get around to that. So my next one is my top 5 classics that you hope to read soon. Damn it! Was this a question for anybody? Of course I'm gonna reread Jane Eyre. It's my all-time favorite. It's got a lot of weird things that happen in it, but I love it. I also plan to reread The Picture of Dorian Gray, because the only time I've ever read it was as a kid in a children's classic version, so I'm not sure that counts. Where's the other one? Seriously. I also really want to read Pride and Prejudice, because I feel like everybody knows about it, and I also have the book Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies somewhere, and I want to read that, and then I want to see the movie, and I really need to get around to reading the original first. And then my other 2 are both by H.G. Wells, and they are War of the Worlds, which is one of my all-time favorites, and The Invisible Man. Both of these I have read as a child, but not the adult real version. And then this is the one I also don't have an answer to. Okay, so I guess there's 2 I don't have an answer to. My bad. And so basically, it's a favorite modern book or series based on a classic. I don't think I've ever read a retelling. So I don't know. I own Cinder, you know, by Marissa Meyer. I own Heartless. But I don't think I've ever read, yeah. So your favorite TV or movie adaptation of a classic, and I don't watch a lot of TV or movies, so I'm just gonna go with the only one I really remember watching, and that is Animal Farm by, what the hell is that book? I don't know where the book is, but that is Animal Farm, which I believe is by George Orwell, and I loved it. That was like my favorite thing I read my freshman year. But that movie is from 1999. Yeah, that's the one I saw. The one from 1999. I enjoyed it. Fair enough. I mean, it wasn't that great, but it's the only one I can think of right now. So, the next one is the worst classic movie adaptation, and that is anything Wuthering Heights, because I don't think this book should ever be perpetuated in any form. So my favorite editions, and this one's gonna take a little bit, because I need to find all my books again that I put, you know, somewhere. Yeah, okay, let's get started. So, I'm dropping everything. So, basically, I love the Barnes & Noble leather-bound classics and whatnot. I think I own 4? Maybe 3. I own like 3 or 4 of them, but they're really heavy. They have very pretty gilded edges. They're delightfully made, and I adore them, and I want them all, and they have a Jane Eyre one, so I need it. And then I also really want, I'll just show you the 3 I already have out, the cloth-bound classics, because I'm a sucker for pretty books. So yeah. Yeah. They also come with like the little ribbon bookmarks, and I think that's cool. I also want the Penguin drop caps. There's a Jane Eyre one that I need to get a hold of, but what do I not have that's Jane Eyre? Correction! I have the Penguin Deluxe editions! Nice segue, huh? And, yeah, that's Jane Eyre. And they have beautiful illustrations on the front, the back, and on the flaps. So, oh, that one's on fire! I know that scene. I never realized that was on fire. I also want the Jane Austen vintage classics, because I feel like if I have the Jane Austen books in like individual forms versus this mammoth, then, because that thing's really heavy and I feel like my wrists would die. Anyway, I will insert a link to where you can view those, because yeah. And then, so my underhyped classic to wreck, where did I put the book? Here it is. It is War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. It's my favorite apocalypse story, and I just think everybody should read it, because, yes. Yes. And the fact that it was broadcast on National Public Radio, or whatever, and everybody thought it was real, I live to create that kind of hysteria. I live for it. Now, I don't know who's done this tag, so I'm basically just gonna say if you've watched this video, you've been tagged, you can either leave your answers down below in the comment section, or you can create a whole nother video and just tell me you've done it and I'll go check it out. Yeah, because I think that'd be fun. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.